say, it's only just become the first set piece. I think it always has been there as a very important part of the game, and it's something we work very hard on and make sure we try and get the ball back. It happens quite often in the game, and obviously normally when you're receiving a kick-off it's after you score some points, so it's vitally important that you get the ball back.
It's vital that, if you've scored points, to make sure you get out of your half and reapply the pressure on the opposition. When you've had points scored against you, it's vital that you put pressure on the opposing side.
You get points, or you score a try, or you kick a goal, you come back and you get it kicked off. You have to get that right. You can't give the other team the ascendancy. You've got to make sure that you turn a positive into another positive, and that's the way you build momentum in a game. And that's why restarts have become so important. And the amount of work that the forwards especially, and it's an unbelievable skill to figure out where a ball's going and get a man up that far in the air to catch it. I know I couldn't do it, but yeah, it's drilled massively in our team.
The way the game is now is quite often very tight, so playing in the right areas of the field is extremely important, and we work very hard on sort of exits, getting out of our own 22 and getting out of our own half and things like that, and that's obviously where the restart really comes into it. If you don't secure your ball there and you lose the ball there, it's quite easy to be stuck in your half for quite a while after that.
Obviously, if you conceded, you want to get back on track as soon as you can, and a restart's an opportunity to rather get the ball back or get some pressure on. As far as when we score, you want to make sure that you don't allow them to do that, and like I said, you make sure you get your restarts right, and you make sure, if they go long, your exiting's good, and then the pressure gets back on them.
From the restart, they've advanced 15 metres and they have the throw into the line out, so effectively that's a pretty good restart result.
The stats that have been shown is a lot of tries are being scored off kick returns. So what you do is you go and you pressurise the opposition, they kick badly, then it lands in the hands of your Fodens and your Browns and those sort of guys who can really open up defences. So it's something we obviously prepare a hell of a lot, but also just making sure that all the players understand it, because team under pressure, points come with that.
We have a couple of unit sessions a week, and in that units we'll cover line-out scrums and restarts, so we'll get a fair bit of work in there. There's a lot that goes into that, is sorting out, obviously, different people lift you all the time, and there's obviously different jumpers in different parts of the pitch, and you also look at what the opposition do, whereabouts they are likely to kick, so we can try and accommodate that.
What's your specific role? You often claim a few. What's your role out on the pitch?
At the moment for England, I'm normally in the wider channel by the touchline. I'm a jumper there, so I normally get sort of a slightly flatter, wider kick more towards the touchline.
Are the broad options to go long or to go short and compete for yourselves? Are they the two main ones, and when do you decide in a game which of those to choose?
I think it's just having everything in your armoury. It's depending what sort of picture you see. If they've got tall backs, you don't go to the backs. If they've got a short winger, you might be able to go to a Luther Burrell or a Johnny May who's good in the air. So it's pretty much seeing the picture and then going accordingly, but everybody be on script and everybody understand what their roles are.
Obviously if you kick short, you're normally kicking onto a pod, so you're kicking onto a lifted pod, and obviously if that happens and the pod go up well and get the ball, you obviously can't touch that pod, so they can form quite a good sort of position against you, but if you kick long, obviously you're kicking long and they get to run back at you, so it's sort of a combination of quite what you want to do in the pitch and where you want to play it.
You don't want to give the opposition anything, and if you have a poor restart, you're receiving, and you have a poor restart or you have a poor kick, it puts you on the back foot straight away. So it's making sure that you turn that pressure into points, and you make sure you get out of your half.
How important is that first one in the game as well? Obviously setting the tone for the team. How important do you think is getting that first one right?
Yeah, I think we saw it in France. I obviously missed the one in France, and then a minute later with a bounce the ball and we were under our own post. So yeah, we understand, and I think everybody understands how important collecting your restarts are, and especially if you've got one first up, it's something you learn about probably about 20 minutes before kick-off. You know whether you're kicking or receiving, and especially the second row, you really need to get your head on it.
It's like, as you say, it's your third set piece, so it's making sure we get that right, especially at the start of the game, making sure we take the pressure off ourselves if we're receiving. So yeah, we spend a fair time on it.